All opinions and comments expressed by the hosts and guests of this podcast are solely those of the individual speakers and do not represent the views or positions of any theater or theatrical organization with which they may be affiliated. Welcome to the ACT Podcast, Actors Creating Together, a podcast dedicated to theater here in the South Texas area. And now, here are your hosts, Jessica, Cameron, and Mario.
We're back.
Yes, we are.
Did you miss us?
I
did.
I missed it. We were busy, though.
We were very busy.
Mm-hmm.
We're here. We're at episode 10.
10.
Double digits.
We're old now.
Double digit. Two whole handfuls.
We're 10 in.
10 episodes
10
in.
So, how many? 10 episodes in now. We are back. We've been busy. We'll talk about what we've been doing for the last 2 months. We apologize for not posting too much on the Facebook page.
We haven't. And you would think that we would have done more of promoting and more podcasts to promote the show that we directed together.
And you were right.
But we didn't.
That was very bad on our
Bad.
Very bad.
Bad.
But we're back. And,
For shame.
Cameron's been busy. Cameron's been a new job, I must add.
Yeah, I do have a new job.
So
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Cameron's busy, so we can all barely get together on a Sunday afternoon to do this. So
Seriously.
we're here to do it. So meanwhile, we had an interview with Bryan Davis. He's the director from Harbor Playhouse, who is directing the new show, The Hunchback of Notre.
Which started this weekend.
It just opened up
On
this
Friday.
past Friday, so it was. I got a chance to see the preview.
It was a great interview with him,
It was
which we're going to play here in a little bit for you guys.
Exactly. We'll have the interview here shortly, but the show was great. Me and Jessica Cameron didn't get a chance to go because Cameron was working.
It's not my fault.
Cameron's very
For
busy.
shame.
So,
That's going to be my word for
Cameron
this
just can't
for
be
this
with us all the
episode.
time. But
For shame.
For shame.
For shame.
For shame on y'all for not promoting y'all show.
Yes, that was. I don't understand why that.
We were too busy.
We were very busy.
We were very
And
busy.
you know what? We're talking about that here in a second.
Yes, we will.
We'll get into that of why we didn't actually do it. There was no time. But anyway, so we had an interview with Bryan Davis, the director of Hunchback of Notre, and we'll get to that here shortly. But in the interim, we're going to talk about why we've been gone. Again, Cameron busy working.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica and I were directing and assistant directing Blithe Spirit at Aurora Theater.
Yes.
And so that was a lot.
It turned out to be a phenomenal show. Some amazing reviews from the people that came to see it and praised it there at the show. We did a double cast of the show. So one cast performed on Friday and Saturdays, and then the other cast performed on Sundays. And the reasoning behind the double cast was flu season, primarily, and making sure that you have your understudies for these major roles. There's only 7 actors in the entire show, no ensemble. And so within the 7 actors memorizing, 4 of the 7 memorize 99% of the show. Mm-hmm. So roughly 90 pages between 4 people of memorization. It's a lot. It is a lot. I'm very proud of every single cast member and their memorization skills. And it was tough. It was a struggle for every single one of them. Yeah. It was not easy for not even one. It was a very hard show to do. And so needing an understudy for a minimum of 4 characters, with the amount of memorization and hard work needed to put in, it was only fair to give the understudies stage time.
Yeah.
It was not fair to ask somebody to understudy something and then not be promised a show date. So the only way I felt it was fair to make this happen is by giving them that stage time, because they deserved it. They 100% deserved it. And so between the 2 casts, when it came to blocking, we did blocking together. So everyone was there for the blocking, and you learned the blocking together. And then once the blocking was all completely done, we would utilize the stage one cast on day one, and then flip-flop the cast back and forth so everybody had the same amount of stage time. So as far as, and so I'd be directing on the stage, and then Mario would be in the foyer on the days that they weren't on stage, working with memorization of the lines in the foyer.
Right.
And so it was hard. It was really hard with two casts. Even though there are some rough things with doing it, it was 100% worth it. I will stand on that till the day I die, that having two casts was 100% all the struggles that it took to do two casts.
Right. Well,
It was amazing.
and it was, like I said, needed. I mean, thank
It was
God we didn't have
fully
anybody that
needed.
did get sick.
Yeah.
But if we didn't, they would have to cancel the show. Just
Right.
no way somebody could just walk in there and just do one of the lines from one of the 3 or 4 lines.
There's no way.
There's no
yeah,
way.
there's no way.
So without having somebody to back them up, it wouldn't have been safe for us to even sell tickets, because this. And if you're not familiar with Bly Spirit, there's a movie with it. There's a bunch of things online you can take a
Yeah,
look
no,
at it.
ours was a million times better
Yeah.
than any of the
Yes,
movies I watched.
Exactly. Ours was better.
Ours was better.
So, but in any event, if you see the story, if you know the story, it's a little bit long. It's 2.5 hours, 3 acts.
It's 3 acts.
It's a
Yeah, it's not a
3-act
2-act show. It is a 3-act show.
Hold on.
And so even having to make that decision on where does the concession
Yeah.
happen, like where do we stop the show to do an intermission, allow concession, it's either you do 1 hour of act 1 and then you sit for 2 more hours,
Yeah.
or you sit for 2 acts, which is roughly 2 hours, and then do concession and then have 45 minutes left of the show. And that's what what we ended up with.
And that was kind of another reason. There's a part in the show where one of the actresses has to change into a different costume.
Yes.
And if we didn't have the
Major
intermission,
change,
of
not
the
just
second
change
act, yeah,
costume. Like
Major change.
she's
I don't want to give it away, but she has to
fully-
totally change. And so without that intermission and then a little bit more time into the third act,
Yep.
she wouldn't have had time to do all that stuff. And so
Yeah, lots of
that kinda
makeup
was
involved.
forced
Let's
in
just say
yeah.
that.
A lot
Tons of makeup
yes.
involved.
A lot of silver makeup.
A lot of
God
silverish,
bless her. She
whitish
was-
makeup. Yes.
They were so great, and I for my first experience as assistant director, Jessica took me on and let me help out. Great. I mean, I couldn't ask for the nicer people. Our crew was great. Julie, our stage manager, did such a great job of
Yes, she did.
organization and getting things in place. When she wasn't there the last weekend, she got it so easy for us just to take over,
Absolutely.
and that we didn't have to worry about. I always freak out because I'm always worried about what's going to happen. But she had all the notes there. She had everything ready for us to go. So we were tremendous help. And then, like I said, all the people that helped us with the lights, Amber with lights, even Mary with costuming and doing hemming and some of those stuff. We all band together to get it done, and I'm really proud of that. It was a really
And
good
the
show.
set was
the set.
phenomenal.
That is another thing. The set was so good. I mean,
Thank
it
you. I'll
just-
take credit. You know, I mean, no, it's,
Thank you, Jordan. Bull.
Now, no, Jordan Bull built the set.
Yes.
Took my vision and really made it come to life and did a phenomenal job with building the set. Then we had our painters, Bryan,
Meza
Meza, and Liz
Lucido.
Lucido
Yes.
as our painters and put all the colors together.
Yeah.
I gave them the concept and the idea and some pictures of some inspiration, and they made it come to life. It was great.
Beautiful, beautiful set. So we had a good time doing that. So that's what we've been doing for the last 2 months. Mm-hmm. So we've been a little bit busy, and we apologize. I know that
I'm sure you all are
so
so heartbroken that we haven't had our 10th episode out yet. You
I know.
know,
Where's it at? Where's it at? Here it is.
knocking on our doors, pounding. We want our next episode.
So Jessica and I got a chance to go to Harbor last week and interview the director of the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and we're going to go ahead and go to that interview right now. Hello, everybody. It's Mario again and Jessica. We're here with Bryan Davis, our interview this week in our episode. And we are here at Harbor Playhouse, and we are at Tech Week for the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Ooh. And so it's got a lot of hectic stuff going on around here, but Bryan took a little time with us this afternoon to answer some questions for us. And And so thank you, Bryan, for taking some time for doing that.
Especially on Tech Week.
Yes, Tech Week is very busy, so we do understand that you got a limited time.
Yeah, I'm glad we're on audio, so you can't see the bags under my eyes right now. Yeah, that's great.
That's normal. I think.
Yes.
That's normal.
For sure.
But just start off, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, like you said, Bryan Davis, 41 years old. By day, I'm an educator. I'm on year 20 as an educator. Family man, married. My wife and I have 3 children between the two of us. And in my free time, theater's been kind of an ongoing hobby for probably going on about 16 years now. I used to, I was in plays in high school and all that, and then kind of stopped, and then kind of came back to it in my adult life. My first show since, after high school was Rumors at Aurora in its first year. So I think they're on year 16 now.
Yes.
So did several shows that year, Cabaret, Full Monty.
You are
and
old
then,
then.
yeah.
No, I'm joking. Totally joking.
Had my first,
You look very young. That's
Thank
why
you,
I'm
thank
surprised
you.
by all of that.
I had my first directing gig there at Aurora with the Rocky Horror Show, and it's
Awesome.
second
nice.
year
Oh,
iteration
wow.
of that.
That's impressive.
And then I've been in several more at Aurora, at the Rialto and Aransas Pass when it was running as a community theater,
Right.
and then here at Harbor. And I think over the years, I'm at, between directing and acting, I'm 20 plus productions at this point. This is either number 7 or 8 to direct, but is by far the largest I've ever directed and has been the most challenging. But we're starting to get to that point where I'm able to sit back, watch, and enjoy. So I didn't know how long it was going to take us to get there to that point, but I'm happy that we're there, and going into this coming Friday with high anticipation and just ready for people to see it.
Have we even said the name of the show?
Yeah,
I don't think
We're
we
sitting
have.
here
I was thinking
talking,
that too. Yeah.
and I'm like, we haven't even said the name of the show. Go ahead, tell us the name of your show.
Yeah, big reveal here. This is
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
this is the Hunchback of Notre Dame. It is a combination of you have songs from the Disney movie, you have elements from the original novel, and some new original songs that were written for this, not our production specifically, but the original stage show. And all that melded together into a really wonderful story. Is quite a bit darker than the Disney. So we've been trying to put out disclaimers, for everybody that maybe like 8 and up, 9 and up. It's not violent by any means, but it's not the happy, feel good singing gargoyles that we know from the cartoon.
Right.
So this isn't the junior version. Like
No.
this is the full-on
Full-on
musical
version.
production.
From to my knowledge, I think we're one of the first community theaters in Texas to take this one on. Having been through it now, I see why. There is a college, I believe, in Texas that has done it. And then, ironically enough, like the weekend that we close, I believe it's a regional equity theater in Houston is actually starting like the weekend after we close ours. So,
nice.
but I think we're the first, as far as I know, community theater wise, and in Texas anyway. And we're just excited to share it with everybody.
That is
Bravo.
awesome.
That is really cool.
So, talking a little bit more about it. So, tell us a little bit about your process.
So this one was really getting the word out there and making a determination about how we wanted the show to operate. This one's unique in the sense that a lot of times, you have your principal cast members, you have your ensemble, and you move forward. This one, we have the added element of a choir, and the choir actually has a different score than the ensemble does. Cool. And so sometimes the choir and the ensemble and the principals all have different parts at the same time. So it was kind of predetermining what we wanted to look for in auditioners. And we ultimately decided on having 2 nights of auditions, but auditioning choir separate from anyone who wanted to be on stage, as a stage role. So we brought our choir auditioners in and basically let them, learn a song in advance, practice a few times with the group, and then sing it there for our music directors. And so the people that wanted to be choir only, it was probably the shortest audition of their life. They came in, they were here for about 10 or 15 minutes, and they moved on. Anyone else that wanted to be considered for the ensemble or any principal roles had to do the full audition, with the music cuts and the dance. And in looking at that, we did tell everyone, of course, if you do the full audition, you are still eligible for the choir. So it wasn't an all or nothing. And thankfully through that process, we had, I think, a little over 60 individuals come out to audition. Might have been closer to 70, actually. And we ended up, I think we have 32 in the cast, maybe 34. I just this week's the first time I think I've had them all in the same place at the same time, so I haven't really counted. But they've been really amazing to work with, and it's...
So is that including the choir count?
That's including the choir, yeah. Okay. That's including the choir. So anyway, we, as part of that process, we established what we wanted for auditions, brought them all in, got our cast, and then we set to work with our schedule. We had a general framework, of some key dates and times, as I always want to make sure that we're running the show at least 2 full weeks out from opening. So I got a kind of backwards map with blocking, with, choreography, with music, to make sure that we get there to that point. The choir often rehearsed separately from the rest of the cast so that the music directors could focus in on their elements and their score. And I think that was really good for our usage of time, because if the choir was rehearsing, the choreographer had the cast out, teaching them one of the dances, or I had them out doing blocking. So it was never a wasted night. We usually had both groups going at the same time, just in 2 different rooms. Then when it came to teaching the ensemble and the cast their roles, they'd have their separate music rehearsal. So all in all, I think we were, for a large portion of the rehearsal process, we were music rehearsals like 3 nights a week at least, while we still had other things going on stage. So it's just like a little bit about the process. When we get to the point where we start merging everything together, I think that can be the most stressful part of it. Because everyone has their ideas in their head, and we start meshing that together and trying to iron out, where is it rough? Where do we need to go in and like smooth out those edges, smooth the transitions, make sure that everyone's comfortable. This one of the big things that I've never really encountered before, but I think it's just the sheer size of the show, was the feeling that we were like running out of time. I'm usually pretty. Who doesn't? Yeah, no. I'm usually been pretty calm as a director. I've usually been pretty like, we go Monday through Thursday. You have your weekends off. This one, when we got about 3 or 4 weeks out, I had to look and be realistic and set that like really intense rehearsal schedule. Like, hey, guess what? We're coming Friday night now, and we're coming Sunday afternoon, and we're. And so I hated taking the time away from the cast, because this is all volunteer work, But it put us in a position where, thankfully, going into Tech Week, I was able to give them that weekend before, off to rest. And they came in really fresh. And so we're 2 nights in right now to Tech Week. It's going really well, and it's been a process. Yeah.
Mario and I haven't seen anything yet. We haven't seen the costume. We haven't seen the stage. We haven't seen any of the things that you've done so far. But my question is, between costumes and stage set, I can only imagine how beautiful this set and these costumes are going to be. So what is your favorite or most exciting part that you can't wait for people to see when it comes to stage and
Without
costumes?
giving it away.
Without giving anything major away, but...
The one thing we're going to do, for one, is we're not closing the grand on this show or in the audience at all. So when you come into the theater, you're automatically going to be like walking into the cathedral, basically.
Nice.
And
so
so I like that, because I think that builds anticipation for the show.
Yeah.
And red curtain in front of that's just not going to play well. So the set is absolutely beautiful. Josh Goldson, our technical director, designed it. We went through several iterations. So earlier I was talking about the process. I had already blocked some things when the set, changed and altered a little bit. And granted, the changes made the set better and I think more functional and more usable. But that still kind of created some times where we had to go back and reblock some things just to make sure that we were sticking together. The changes, though, I mean, it's breathtaking. You might hear some saws in the background. I don't know. They're still working on it right now. But it feels like you're in the cathedral. We transport you into the streets of town at times. We transport you into the gypsies' hiding place at times. And so we built a set very open so that we could do a lot with it in the central areas. That part's absolutely beautiful. Our lighting design is, absolutely breathtaking. There's some wonderful effects where it looks like, there's fire happening behind the cathedral, where it looks like stained glass window is reflecting onto the floor.
That's cool. I can't wait.
When we're in the bell tower, it looks like lights peering in through like beams. Like it is really, really cool lighting design. And then that was done by Ren Christensen, our lighting designer, and he also assistant directed with me on this show, which is great, and did a lot of our fight choreography. This one has several fight scenes as well, and he's very skilled with that. So he was our fight choreography, intimacy coordinator, assistant director, and anything else. I mean, he's a jack of all trades. And then our costumes were designed by Alex Shaw, who actually does costuming professionally at the university. That's her gig there, but she also lends her talents over here, and she's designed some beautiful costumes. We have gargoyles and statues and gypsies and soldiers and kings and transformations happening on stage. And one costume I'm really excited to share has a really cool technical effect that she spent a lot of time on. And so at the start of Act 2, you'll get to see that one, and it's kind of like, how'd they do that? But it's just that magic of theater, yeah.
That I like.
Yeah.
I like to see those kind of things. So as far as, can you give us a little bit more information about the shows and the dates and that kind of thing? We can really go into that.
Yeah, so we open on May 15th, and we run Fridays and Saturdays at 7:30, Sunday matinees at 2:30, and we run all the way up through June 14th. So about 1 month solid of shows and 3 audiences a week. Tickets are available at harborplayhouse.com. I do want to say to make sure you notice that if you buy parking in advance, it's only $5. If you buy it when you get here, it's $7. So just kind of keep that in mind. And then all of our patrons that come in, if there's like another event happening at the Hilliard Center and they end up having to park in the Hilliard Center lot, if they do show their pre-purchase ticket receipt, they pay the Harbor parking rate and not the Hilliard Center rate, even for the Hilliard lot. So I want to throw that out there because it's kind of new this year. But it also keeps people from maybe paying $15, $20 to the
extra to the
when they can pay the Harbor parking price.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, that is good news.
Some other highlights that I just want to share on this show. Our choreographer, Sierra Salazar, very first show she's choreographed. So she took on a beast. And she has previous experience, with working in dance studios, working with high school drill teams and such. This is her first stage show to do. She's been super.
I imagine the drill team background would be phenomenal for this show.
And she impressed me so much when we started because she started researching some of the dances of the time period. Like she went and researched French 1800s, flamenco, whatever it might be that the scene called for.
Right.
She was going back and kind of researching and studying and put some of that on stage, and been really, really impressed and grateful to work with her. We also have some first-time cast members in the show. I think before we started recording, I told you that I love to put first-timers on stage. Every time I direct, there will at least be 2 or 3 in the cast. Then I do that intentionally. I think we, as a community theater, only get by being the community.
100%.
And so we have to have.
Mario and I fully agree with that.
Totally.
Yeah.
We've got to keep bringing in new people and get them into this experience and bring them into the fold. And I think you get into that first show and it just takes over and you want to do all of them. And then it also, I think, makes you more confident when you go back to audition, just kind of breaking into that first role, and then becomes an easier process after that, I think. Yeah.
Well, you don't just do theater. There's a movie that me and you are in. Not the same scene or anything, but we're in the same movie.
So most of my acting experience has been stage acting, but there was the one movie experience with Evil Inheritance coming out soon. It's in post-production right now. And that was just, it was fun. I was on set for one day. It was just kind of a blast to see that process. I'd never been on a set before, and that was really different than theater acting. And just a really different process overall. It's I know there's a lot of pre-work that goes into it, but the actors kind of show up, do their part, and don't really see a lot of the extra. Whereas in a show, the actors are there through the whole process and kind of developing that. So it's different way to work, but I enjoyed it. It was a fun experience. In terms of acting, I mentioned earlier that I was an educator and have a family, so I try to do 1 to 2 shows a year. That's kind of my goal every year. I don't like to do more than that, just because I think it takes me away too much from my family, too much.
Absolutely.
too much conflict with work and everything. So I try to do about 1 or 2 a year just to kind of, keep that excitement alive. I've been really blessed that my daughter and my oldest son have both done some shows as well. My oldest has done, I think, 2 shows that I was a part of as well, either on the production team or in the cast with them. And then my daughter has done like 8 or 9 shows now, and we've probably done 5 of those together. So that's been cool. Always a blast, yeah. When she's 13 now, a teenager, so she'll still claim me when we're here, I guess. But it's really fun to be able to do that together and have those experiences and kind of go through that process and see her fall in love with it also.
In regards to directing Hunchback of Notre Dame, obviously I'm going to assume you've seen the Disney version of it. Had you already seen the Broadway version of the show before you accepted this, or did you accept it blindly?
I like this question because it's going to make a lot of people mad. So I saw the Disney movie once when I was a kid. That was it. It was not one.
So you are going into this blind.
It was ish. I listened to the cast recording several times. I'd watched scenes from one of the recordings that's probably illegal online somewhere, but I did not watch the entire production, and I do that deliberately.
No, that's why I asked.
When I've directed in the past, I feel like if I watch too many productions or too many videos or too much influence, whatever, it starts influencing my decisions. And I'm like, I want this to be what I created. Our Quasimodo's like peeking in at me over here. But I want it to be, my creation. I don't want to be too influenced by what I've seen. Sometimes I'll go to specific scenes for like, I'm really blocked. I need to figure out how to get past this one thing that's keeping me, whatever the directing version of writer's block is.
Director's block.
Yeah, it's a new term. We just coined it, patent right now. But I deliberately don't do that because I want to see what I come up with, and I want it to be like, what did I envision in my head when I read this page, when I heard this song? What did I want to see? And so I try to avoid those things on purpose. I know other directors that will watch every bit of content they can get and kind of develop their plan from there. I don't know if I'm crazy, stupid, or just like a challenge, but for me,
I love it. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, I try to let it be. What did I see? What did I want? What did I want to experience?
What did you see in your head when you read it the first time?
Right. And my background in college, I have a bachelor's and a master's in English, so I'm used to digging into the text and analyzing and stuff. And so I think this is kind of an expansion of that. I see it, as I spend a lot of time digging in, analyzing and stuff in college and then while teaching. And now I get to kind of take that a step further and really, create with that. Like, what did I envision? What did I interpret from, the scene that I read? And now how do I put that on stage? So it's kind of that process plus one, Right.
Do you actually put storyboards together, or do you kind of put a plan together before you just dive in, or you just say let's start with?
Depends on the scene. It depends on the scene. Sometimes if it's like a one-on-one scene with 2 actors, I want them to develop that, so they get very minimal blocking, and then they get mad at me, and then we have to go run that and let them develop it naturally. And they'll be like, oh, I wanted to move right here. Well, I wanted to do this. I'm like, then do it. That's the. So I like those kind of partner scenes to really develop as part of the process. If it's a larger scene, like in this one, when y'all see the prologue, it is, I want to say like 12 minutes long from start to finish. And it involves the entire cast pretty much. So that one, I had like half pages of paper, and I had dots that represented every person, and it was like, here's where we start, and here's where the dots move, and here's where I felt like I was like a high school band director, like organizing a marching drill, really. Thankfully, I was in band for 4 years and a drum major, so I had a little experience with that. So there were scenes like that just really had to be fleshed out and had to be almost like storyboarded out. And then there were others that got to kind of naturally develop. So it really depended on the scene itself. And then there were key moments that I knew I wanted, and so sometimes it became, all right, what's our path to get to those moments?
Is that how you approach when you talk to your actors? You just touch on that. You allow them to develop what they think first, or do you kind of like to kind of ask them questions to see?
Right. I like to see what they come up with first.
Mm-hmm.
If it's playing like in direct opposition of the way I interpreted, the way I read, then I'll ask them to change it. But I think that, I have the role of putting everything together and making sure that it's smooth and making sure that it transitions and giving us the bones, Right. I think they have the role of really fleshing out their character. Just like the lighting designer has the role of, fixing the lights, the costumer has the role of the costumes, and you really have to let everyone do their part. One, because it's too much work for one person to do alone, but two, I think it's almost like insulting to the actors to be like, hey, I picked you based on something I saw in you at auditions. I'm not going to tell you what to do every single line, every single, scene. I'm going to give you the bones. I'm going to tell you where I want you to start and stop. I'm going to tell you if there's certain key moments where I need, particular movements or particular gestures to convey, certain character traits that need to come across. But for the most part, I want to see what they come up with and then work with that,
That's good. What's next for you? I know you said you want to do 1 or 2 a year. Is this your 2 or is this your 1?
I'm going to count it as 2. My daughter and I were in Christmas Carol this last year, so that was less than a year ago. Calendar year, this is the first one. If you'd asked me a week ago, I'd say I'm never doing this again. But
it's like giving birth. You don't remember the pain a week later, and you're ready for the next one.
You see that final product, and you're just smiling. I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. But as of right now, nothing on the horizon. I kind of wait and see what my schedule allows. Sometimes I do have to travel for work a lot, and so sometimes that hampers being in certain shows or working on certain shows. And then also my oldest is going to be a senior next year, so I'm really making sure that I keep myself free to be at all of his senior events. I don't want to miss anything as he's going through that.
That is true.
Yeah.
What's your go-to snack that you like to bring and eat, or maybe other people like to eat? What's your go-to snack?
I think for some reason we had like a really unusual amount of cookies during this production. They keep showing up. So I seriously, I can, probably count on both hands the number of times that cookies have shown up as a break snack or a mid-rehearsal snack. And so chocolate chips always great. Oatmeal raisins my favorite probably. And then if I haven't eaten,
to the cast
if I haven't eaten all day and I'm on my way home, I always regret it later. But it's my Taco Bell stop. Like if I haven't eaten since lunch and it's like 11 when I'm getting home, and then I'm like, why the heck am I eating Taco Bell at 11? But
because it's so freaking cheap and delicious.
Right.
And so,
Baja Blast. You can't miss that at 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
So do you have any rituals that you do still before you go on stage, before you start a production, before a show starts? Do you do anything that you do all the time to make sure things feel good? To appease the gods?
Lucky socks to wear.
No, I mean, none that I can think of. I know it's boring, but I just kind of show up and go with the flow. I do try to not. I try to focus in a little bit, but sometimes that's an activity like I've been known to like sit there and read in the dressing room or do something just to not think about the show.
Right.
If I start thinking about the show, I'm going to mess up. If I don't think about it and just go into autopilot, I'm good. And so I just try to keep myself from thinking about it. Each show kind of takes on, though, each cast that I'm in, they all take on their own like personality, though. So sometimes those traits or rituals kind of develop with that cast, and then they don't carry over to the next one,
Yeah.
During Fiddler on the Roof, I know we had like almost a little campfire circle out here in the studio. It started with our lead actor playing Tevye, and then all of a sudden there was all the adults out there with them. We're sitting in a circle telling stories every night before the show. There's other times where it's a little more subdued, a little more quiet. Other times where if there's kids in the cast, they're running around everywhere, and I'm usually filming TikToks in costume or something. So it really, every cast kind of takes on its own little, unique family trait. But nothing that I do in particular every time.
So what advice do you give to up and coming directors, and what's the best advice you give them to be the best director they can be for a cast?
I think that you have to come in with a plan and know your calendar, like know when you want to be at certain moments. Like for me, it's always, I've got to be running 2 weeks out because I need the actors to have a week to be comfortable in their skin before we get to tech week. Because if it's tech week and you're still blocking, or if it's tech week and just the first time you've run it, it creates too much stress when you don't need to put people through that. Also, be flexible in working with your production team. Take their ideas. Let the cast make suggestions. Let the cast, work with things. If your costumer says something looks bad, but you're like, no, I want it. Like, listen to the costumer. That they know what to look for. Right. If your choreographer, wants a certain move in there and it's just not working for you, let them have it. I mean, it does not hurt the overall show because it's just as much their work. Everyone on that team, it's their work, their blood, sweat, and tears as much as it is yours. And then don't let the stress get to you. There will be times where you will reach those points where you think you can't possibly handle anymore, and then something else will happen. And so know when to step away, take a breather, let everyone take 10 and come back to it if you need to. And whatever you do, don't take it out on the cast or the crew or anyone that's here working, because they're all here just like you are. And so those times where I feel like I'm close to snapping or my eyes twitching or whatever, it's very much okay, take 5, come back. And that would be my biggest thing, but it's also the hardest thing to do. But that's my biggest piece of advice. And that's not just coming from my process, but that's also other directors that I've worked with. You remember the ones that respected you and respected your time and respected the process and everyone in it, but you also remember the ones that were all about the final product and didn't care about the people in the process. And so you learn a lot about who to work with and who not to work with. And definitely not gonna name any names out of respect, but I saw Jessica over here looking for those names. That's, as a director, I always try to keep that in mind and try to be respectful to the people I'm working with. And if I am the person too that if I went out of line or if I snapped at somebody or whatever, they are getting an apology, oftentimes in front of the whole cast, because if I yelled at them in front of the cast or got onto them in front of the cast, they need to be apologized to in front of the cast. So, yeah.
Good way to look at things. Well, Bryan, we really do appreciate you taking time. I know you're really busy.
No, this is great. I love it. Yeah.
We really appreciate your time helping us out. And again, if you are interested, and we're going to be here to check out this show, Hunchback of Notre Dame. It starts again. Do the dates again?
May 15th through June 14th. Fridays and Saturdays at 7:30 and Sundays at 2:30.
And if you want to buy some tickets, go to harborplayhouse.com and you can buy them there. Can you buy them at the box office?
Box office as well, yeah.
And if you want to come to the box office, you can buy them there as well.
And if you buy your parking ticket online, not a ticket, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pass, the parking pass. Cheaper if you buy it online with your ticket.
That's cool.
I'm
doing that.
Yep.
Well, thanks so much, Bryan.
And that was our interview. Thank you for coming and listening. I do want to really talk about one of the things in the interview that we discussed a little bit and elaborate more on it because I just love the question. As a director, directing a show that you've never seen before, you have no concept. I mean, you have a concept of the story, but you use your own vision and what your own thoughts and ideas were versus seeing the show and being influenced by what other directors have done with the show. Right. So I'd love to elaborate on that question a little. What are your thoughts on that, Mario?
Well, I had never seen the stage production. I read through it first, so I coming from the other side, and I think that kind of helped me out better too, so I didn't get exposed to some of the movies that were out, because even the latest movie that comes out with it doesn't even follow the play at all. At the ending,
the 2021
it's a totally different movie ending, so it kind of doesn't help you out. But you do get a couple of things because the actors are so good. Did you get kind of character references or what they would be? I read through the play, read it twice. It took me a couple of times to get through it. It's very. We were told it was a heavy dialogue. and it is. There's a lot of big
because it's not a musical.
It's a 1930s type show.
1941
type show with people who used to speak a certain way from
in
part of the world, and so you're not really used to that. But once you get past all that, I saw there was a great story there. So it kind of helped me out coming. Angela Lansbury, who did do it on Broadway Live, and she
Angela
did a great
Lansbury is
job.
phenomenal.
And the clips I saw, because I've never seen the actual whole performance, but I've seen the clips a little bit of them online, and she does such a great job. But the actresses we had did it 2 different ways.
Yeah.
Other than the way Angela Lansbury did it, so they came in with it, I think, the same way. I think one of the actors, Debbie, already knew the information, knew the stuff. I think Lisa might have known it too a little bit, but they brought 2 different versions of Miss Madame McCarty, which was great. I mean, that's why we always tell people to come to both shows to see both casts, because you saw totally different Madame McCartys.
That was the other great thing of having 2 casts.
Yes.
It was like 2 completely different shows. It really was, and I loved that. Anyway, back to the staying on topic.
Yeah.
Knowing the show versus not knowing the show before directing it. It wasn't until after we started directing it that I then watched the version where the writer himself played the main character on TV.
Right.
And I did steal one little thing from that show, and that was when the ghost blows out the matches, of the wife who is alive. I did steal that part, but that was only after we had already started directing and had the vision of the show. But as an actor, Cameron, how do you feel about being in a show? Would you rather be in a show that you're familiar with and bringing references to your character, or have you ever thought about that, and or do you prefer being a character that you're not familiar with at all, so that you can bring your own vision into that character?
I would say I would be more comfortable being in a show I'm more familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I would love to step out of the box and be in a show I do not know at all. That way, I put my own spin on the character that I've been cast as.
Mm-hmm.
And along with that, I would, of course, read the description of how this character is supposed to be, how they're supposed to act and talk, and probably put my own spin on that character.
Mm-hmm.
And what's great is, each show is different every time, no matter the character. The character can play it one way one night and a different way another night.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, with the director's approval.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of
I mean, there are some rogue actors out there.
Bryan had a really good idea about what he was talking. He did say that was his thing, right? He didn't want to see. He kind of likes to go flying blind, not really knowing about what it's about, so he can bring his own to it, and it shows. Granted, Hunchback of Notre Dame. If you've got kids, you probably saw the Disney cartoon version of it. And if you're gonna don't take your 5-year-old. I would say 10, 12.
Thinking that it's Disney.
It's not Disney.
The story of the Hunchback of Notre Dame is a dark story.
Yeah, it is dark already. So it's not the fun. It's a little darker than that. So I would caution you not to take your children to see it. They're really, really young, because they might not understand it. But it is a great show. I can't talk enough about it. So I'm really proud of what Bryan's doing over there, and I hope to go see it again toward the end, because I know that when I saw it, they weren't really going all out, because opening night was the next night, so they weren't really belting like they could have, but it was still that good. So
it looks great. The photos look amazing. We need to not forget.
Actually, I want to ask y'all about your backstage crew. How did that happen?
Our backstage crew?
Did you have anybody for backstage crew?
We had
just
Julie.
Julie, our stage
Julie.
manager, and then a cast member in the back.
Yes.
Because, the backstage crew is considered the biggest fan of the show.
Really?
Yeah, really. They always give the actors props.
I knew it was coming.
We knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming, and I still. What? Really? Huh? Cameron.
Darn you, Cameron. Darn you.
Gave you 3 months, Cameron.
I can do better, I promise.
You gotta love Cameron.
But before we do go, we want to give a shout out to the local, all the local theaters and what's coming up.
Yes.
So, auditions at Aurora. The show is still not announced.
No.
But auditions are going to either be Sunday the 24th and Monday the 25th.
Mm-hmm.
or Sunday the 31st and June the 1st.
Right.
So those are the two potential Aurora dates for the next musical. It is a musical that they're going to be doing. Our understanding is the director is Lori Hoffelmeyer.
Fajardo.
And then I'm horrible with name pronunciations. I'm so sorry, Lori. I love you to death. And then we have shows going on in Port A.
That is going to be directed by Braden Jake. It is called The Shark is Broken.
And they've already done their auditions.
Yes.
When does it open?
It's already posted. You will see the behind stage a version of Jaws.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm getting
It's a musical?
I believe it is I want to say it's a straight play. I am not sure exactly.
So we're seeing the behind the scenes of
Jaws.
the making of Jaws?
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, I have its performance dates have been posted. It starts July 9th, ending July 19th.
Okay.
So that's a short
We're
run.
going to have to see if we can get some
Yeah.
backstage passes for that one and interview them and see that.
Yes,
that sounds
would be-
amazing.
It sounds like a good show. And we know, is it Braden, you said?
Yes, Braden's in it. He is
Braden.
playing Steven Spielberg himself.
This actually sounds pretty good. I've never heard of this play. Is this, I guess it's recently new. I've never heard of that. Have you ever heard of this play?
I have not. No.
That sounds pretty good. That sounds going to be funny. So I love that movie. That's one of my favorites.
It's a great movie.
I know we've got more local theaters.
Yes,
And my brain is farting.
The Rockport Little Theater is
For shame.
going to be putting on the Laramie Project.
Ooh, I heard
Okay.
about this one.
Okay. Do we have dates? Audition dates? Anything?
Weekend performances June 5th to June 14th.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
Coming up.
Awesome. So that's something to look forward to.
And that is going to be performed by high school students.
Oh. Okay, cool.
We'll get all that information. Hopefully we'll put it on our Facebook page. And you
Yes.
can take a look at it. And buy your tickets. Support local theater because
Always.
we...
Otherwise, for shame.
Yeah, or we're not going to be able to have any fun.
Oh, and also,
No podcast either.
one more. Aurora Arts Theater is partnering with Sirena Productions.
Oh, another one.
First,
You're in it this time, aren't you,
Yeah, I'm
Mario?
in it.
With Raza Noise presenting Summer in the Barrio, Cue It Up Vato.
That's right.
I
From-
went and saw the
Forgot about
last
that,
one. It
sorry.
was good.
2 shows, July 10th and 11th. Both showtimes at 7:30 p.m.
I am involved with their stuff this time. I'm going to be involved.
Congratulations.
Because it's fun because this one I'm allowed to. I wrote a couple of skits for it, so and then hopefully they're going to put me in there somewhere to
Okay.
act like a.
That's exciting. I can't
you know.
wait.
So I get to do my regular accent that I usually speak at home. This is my radio voice, by the way.
Well, when I came,
It's pretty bad.
I'm laughing
Sorry.
because you sound exactly the same.
Same. Well, when I get on stage, you're going to see the difference.
Okay.
See the difference or hear the difference?
No, you're going to see and hear the difference.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna cholo it up.
I'm scared.
Yeah, it is going to be kind of scary.
So the last time I went and saw the show, I'm so glad I had Spanish speaking people next to me. I do not speak a lick of Spanish, and I know living in Corpus Christi that is a horrible thing to not understand or do or know. But I felt bad to the person next to me, which was Mario's wife.
Yeah.
I kept leaning over to her, going, "Help me understand. What did they say? Translation, please." And she would help me out, and it was amazing.
I mean, it was still easy, even if you didn't speak Spanish, that you could.
Oh yeah, no, still a
You
phenomenal
could
show.
follow what was going on.
Still
It
a
was
phenomenal
funny.
show. Yeah.
They do such a great job. That's why I really wanted to be a part. When I saw that show, I was like, this is something I really want to do.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
great.
they've been so nice to me and allowed me to take part and help out with them. And
I can't wait to see what sketch you wrote.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So yes, thanks for mentioning that, Cameron, because I
course.
totally didn't even space out on that. So I guess we'll look forward to next time. I'm just in the process of getting a guest. I don't want to say yet because I'm
Then
not
don't
sure
say
how
it.
we're gonna do it yet. But a guest that
Do I
not locally.
even know?
You might know. I might have mentioned it to you a while back that we're going to do it eventually, but I just got some word that he will be available to do a podcast.
The one
with
in New
us.
York?
The one in New York.
Oh, the one in New York. The one in New York.
Shh, it's a secret. I don't think he's listening to us, so he's not going to know. But we will talk about that.
It's the
for
one
next
episode he listens
to. Yeah, the one episode he listens to this. But we will get back with you on a date when that happens. In the meantime, but we don't want to.
No promises yet.
Yeah, we can't promise you that we'll be here every week, but we're gonna try to get back into shape and hopefully do this in a video format.
That'd be awesome.
I'm working on that. Anyway, we've been talking too long. We're gonna see you guys later. Thank you so much for joining us.
Stay creative, my friends.
Stay creative.
All opinions and comments expressed by the hosts and guests of this podcast are solely those of the individual speakers and do not represent the views or positions of any theater or theatrical organization with which they may be affiliated.